Recently I watched a video about the Holden Ute and why it never gained success in the USA, and on that video one of my viewers recommended this one, told me it might be a bit more exciting. This is Holden VF Ute versus the Nürburgring world record lap, so I guess we're going to see a Ute go fast here. I did a little bit of research. It looks like the Holden VF Ute was one of the last Holdens produced, I think. Tell me if you know of the model itself. And the Nürburgring is a place where there's a couple of racetracks in Nürburgring in Germany. So interested to see this. Tell me what you think about it as always. Vehicle driven by a professional test driver on a controlled test track under controlled test conditions.
Okay, here we go to start.
Okay, here we got Rob Trubiani, a vehicle dynamics engineer. Yeah, tell me more about this. Was he a race car driver?
At the lap.
As well as an engineer?
Approaching turn one, back into second gear. Car starts to slide a little bit as we don't have the tyres up to temperature yet. Upshift to third gear, keep it flat through this section. Stab on the brakes, turn the car into the right-hander. This is Hatzenbach, a whole series of left and right corners. A real rhythm section where you've got to get the car to flow right to go quickly.
The speed of that, the control
Step
as well.
on the brakes and jump the curb. A little bit of a slide, run the car all the way to the exit.
Unreal driving.
Back into third gear and jump the curb again. A little bit of a power slide on the way in. Wide open throttle for Kudelbacher-Ho. Upshift to fourth gear. Keep it flat. Approach the compression. A small tap on the brakes and make the jump. Turn the car in and keep it flat through this section. Wide open in fourth gear.
Jeez, look at this
Tricky
speed.
to get the apexes right in this part of the track.
This is incredible driving.
Keeping it flat as we approach. Upshift into fifth gear as we approach the Riser Schwedenkreuz. Spin the wheels as we go over the top of it. Stab on the brakes and turn the car in. A little bit of a slide. Hard on the brake pedal. Back into third gear for the run down into Arenberg. Now wide open on the exit and run the car aggressively downhill, down Fuchsrow. Upshift to fourth gear, keeping it flat. You've got to be really accurate with the steering. Upshift to fifth gear, again keeping it wide open. Hard on the brakes, back into fourth gear. Again, another stab back into third gear and make the right-hander.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever really seen like an example of someone driving at this speed, just describing every little moment in detail. It's incredible. I mean, like, especially how calm and composed he is. Obviously, he's like, I guess he's got a lot of experience driving cars at this speed, but just to hear him so calmly describe every little thing that's happening, every little thing's so planned out, and he knows exactly where to drive, how to drive at each part. I guess that's the thought process of any racing car driver, but I just never really heard it so like calmly and eloquently described. Pretty cool.
Run this corner deep.
Tell me more about him. He seems pretty cool.
Back into second. Quick upshift into third gear as we make the approach to Metzgersfeld.
This sounds so nice.
Difficult to get your brake marker right into this corner. Back into third gear. Hard on the brakes.
So focused, laser
The run through
focus in his
Kallenhardt
eyes.
is also difficult. Aggressively on the brakes to slow the car down. A little bit of a slide on the way in, and again back open on the throttle. A small snub apply and then make the left-hand turn. Go back to wide open throttle and again aggressive on the brakes. Difficult corner with a double apex. Upshift to fourth gear for the run down the hill, back into third and then back again into second. One of the slowest corners of the track. Upshift second to third and then again to fourth just before the kink. There's a bump that upsets the car, we quickly get on the brakes and back into third gear.
I mean, it is a pretty incredible track as well, like the inclines and declines and just the setting and stuff, like in this like German forest somewhere. Really cool. But tell me more about him as well. Like you said, he's an engineer at the start, but this is just like amazing driving as well. Was he a professional racing driver before being an engineer?
Quick tap into second gear just for a very short period and then wide open into third. We're coming up to the famous berg work, keeping it flat through second, through fourth, third and now fourth. Flat through the kink and hard on the brakes, back into third gear. You've got to get the apex right at this corner because you've got a long climb where you've got to get the exit speed right. Now it's wide open throttle for several kilometres as we cross the 11 kilometre mark. Upshift to fourth gear, still keeping it flat. There's a little rise on the track here. Just got to open up the steering a little bit.
Everything's accounted for in his mind. It's so good. His knowledge is pretty incredible of this track as well. I wonder how many times he's actually driven around this track.
Back into third gear for a quick turn, wide open. You sit the car very close to the rev limiter, upshift to fourth and hold it flat through this section. Come over the rise, quickly tap on the brakes and turn the car into the right-hander. And we're now approaching Steel Striker. The corner before the carousel, back into second gear, a little bit of a slide on the way out, upshift to third, keep it flat all the way up to the carousel. The carousel is the most famous corner on the Nürburgring. Hard on the brakes, back into second and then drive the car aggressively through the carousel. Wide open throttle, just stabbing at the throttle.
Nice.
Wide open on the exit, upshift to third gear.
So good.
Upshift to fourth and keep it flat through this section. Small lift to get the car into the left-hander. We're coming up to Hoak, back into third gear, turn the car in and go back to wide open throttle for a brief moment. This is the highest part of the track now.
This guy's a master.
Getting the car to flow right through this section is critical to keep the speed up.
His control, man, is so good.
Jump the curb on the inside, let the car drift all the way to the outside, brake in the compression and then make the turn up the hill. We're approaching Brunchen now, which is one of the most famous corners on the track because of all the spectators that stand at this point.
He's actually given some track knowledge as well while he's driving like this.
Run the curb on the way out and now approaching the ice curve.
Giving some like interesting facts. This guy's awesome.
Car starts to slide and get back on the throttle, run the car over the curb on the outside and set yourself up for Flatsgarden. Flatsgarden is one of the sections where the car jumps. Upshift to fourth gear, quick stab, jump, down again, back into third gear and run the car wide open throttle.
Driving so fast.
We had a car lose oil here about 10 minutes before this run and the sand is all over the road.
So he's even like talking about like incidents going on, man. Like I can hardly do one thing at a time, man. You hear me stuttering there, just watching a video, not doing anything like intensive on my brain, taxing on my brain. He's driving like so incredible, but just talking so calmly and about the track, about what's going on, like with that incident there. It's quite mind-blowing.
A bit of a slide, keep it flat through this section. It's like being on a roller coaster as the car sweeps.
A roller coaster that he's controlling, man, by driving so fast and just
quick step on the brakes, back into third gear, wide open throttle again and run the car all the way to the outside. We're approaching the second carousel.
Yes,
turn the car in, you can see the sand on the road from the oil spill. We jump out of the carousel and another power slide on the way out. Approaching a critical corner where we've got to now get the lead up onto the main straight right. We're in third gear, Start to approach wide open throttle now as we hit the apex and start to drift the car right to the outside. Upshift to 4th gear.
Just handles every corner so perfectly. I'd love to see like a speedometer.
Wide open throttle, we have a quick look at the gauges. Upshift to 5th gear.
See what speed he's actually getting out of this.
Approaching the very fast kink at the end of the straight. Turn the car in. A quick brake in the compression. Off again. A little bit of a slide on the way up.
Oh my god.
Having to hold it all together now for the last few corners. Back into 2nd gear.
That is bloody mental, man. That's just some of the best
there's
driving
the
I've
last
seen.
turn. There goes the record lap. We were really pleased with the way this turned out. We didn't think we were going to run as fast as we did. An 8:19 is an awesome time, and we're very, very pleased.
Very pleased, man. I would be like ecstatic. That was just such, like, especially that last part, how fast he was driving, and like really as if it's about to take off from a runway, man. It's like insane, like brilliant driving. Yeah, I was expecting more to like just see the car or admire the car, but how can you not just admire the driving there, man? That guy's incredible. What a drive, man. Like perfectly driven all the way around there. Like just handled everything so calmly and just expertly as well. So yeah, tell me more about him. I need to know, what do you think about this fantastic vehicle, fantastic driving? Thanks.